Good afternoon. What is a pretty muggy day down here in southeast Texas. Just wanted to give a perspective of what we're looking at temperature-wise currently here in the city of Houston. We're looking at about 72 degrees for many of us down here in the city. Up towards the Metroplex, they're still pretty chilly up there. 49, 46, mid 40s, upper 40s is around what they're looking at up there in the Metroplex, continuing to thaw out from their winter storm that they had a few days back. Out towards San Antonio, we're looking at middle 50s, 54, 55 degrees for many of them. Down here in southeast Texas, like I said, 72, 74. We're about the warmest places here where we're still stuck in some kind of fog for many of us. Up towards College Station, visibility is down to about 2 miles. An improvement from earlier today, where a lot of us here in Southeast Texas were down to quarter to near no visibility for many of us. Now, I wanted to talk about what's driving our next weather system coming into Texas. Here's a look at our jet stream currently, and as you see, we have a trough building here through the western portion of the United States, stretching down towards California, where they've got plenty of rain over the weekend and some severe weather and hail as well for areas of the greater Los Angeles area. And as we go in time, the jets will still primarily over us be from the Pacific, and that's why we have so much cloud cover here in southeast Texas and for most of the state. And that will continue as it continues to pump in moisture from the Pacific. But as we go on through time, this trough will begin to move into our state, leading to our next Arctic front that will be arriving Wednesday into Thursday for many of us here in the state. As it continues to progress into Friday, we'll see this trough begin to dig in more again towards the west before finally clearing us into the weekend. Now, what we're looking at here is the relative vorticity, or the lift that is created by our systems. And here we see that trough sitting over here towards California, where we have an area of low pressure that's been producing all that rain. And what this just to explain the color scheme a little bit, the more intense colors, red, yellow, orange, indicate more lift in our atmosphere, and that helps us produce rain or frozen precipitation for many of us in this winter months as we go on. Now, as this low pressure moves off towards Texas, we're going to see that cold front advance towards the state as well. And along that front, we're expecting some thunderstorm activity as we see a lot of lift in through northern Texas and the Panhandle. And as this continues to progress into Thursday, we will see more lift along that frontal boundary. And as that front gets here, we'll see cooler temperatures. Now, what's going to be helping us with the rain is the moisture in the air we currently have, with winds coming out of the south from the Gulf of Mexico, pumping in moisture at the lower levels, and at the mid levels we have the jet stream bringing in moisture from the Pacific. All those mix up to give us pretty significant moisture over the area. And as I'm showing you here, this is the precipitable water, or the amount of moisture that we see, values around 1.4 to 1.6 inches, which is pretty significant for this time of year during the winter months. As we see, a lot of that bulk of that moisture, as that cold front pushes in, will be confined to northern Texas, into southeast Texas as the front progresses. So what we're expecting is probably showers here in southeast Texas today into tomorrow, before a line of storms and showers moves into the area. Up in the DFW area, same thing we're expecting, but up there with those cooler temperatures, and you're probably tired of hearing this, but we're probably in for another round of frozen precipitation up to our north. Around San Antonio, we're looking mostly thunderstorm and rain. For many of us, maybe up in the hill country, we'll see a little bit of sleet, freezing rain. Another one of those wintry days for many of us here in Texas. temperature-wise. So for today, we're looking many of us warming into the 70s, which we already are here in Southeast Texas. Up in the Dallas area, pretty much where you are is where you're going to stay for the rest of the day. You haven't cracked 60 in some time, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. For the day today, probably tomorrow you'll be inching closer, but you'll probably most likely stay in the 50s until that front does arrive in the morning hours of Wednesday into Wednesday afternoon. But by Wednesday, late Wednesday afternoon into Thursday morning, we're seeing that front approaching the northern counties of Southeast Texas, areas like College Station, Huntsville, Livingston, Conroe, before entering Houston Metro and dropping our temperatures throughout the day on Thursday. And as those temperatures do drop for many of you in the Metroplex, you'll be seeing whatever moisture is around transition from a rain to a rain-sleet mix to possibly just freezing rain or sleet. And mostly we're saying that because the profile of the sounding profile for you in the DFW area, we have temperatures at the surface at freezing or below freezing, which is conducive for icy roads and icy overpasses. But in the mid levels, from about 900 millibars up to 700 millibars, we have those temperatures above freezing, where we'll have whatever moisture or snow is produced in the upper atmosphere fall through this layer, and what happens is that it melts, and as it melts, it becomes liquid water. And then when it enters this freezing layer, it refreezes. So it could either fall as freezing rain, sleet, or maybe possibly just we'll just have a really cold rain for many of you if you are above this freezing mark. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Around here in the Houston area, we're not looking at any frozen precipitation for us. We're just looking at a cold rain probably after the front, with temperatures dipping into the 40s for many of us. Our northern counties, I can't stress enough that you might see some frozen precipitation Wednesday night into Thursday with whatever moisture lingers, and that's the clue right there. Whatever moisture is around will probably be the frozen kind. Not sure. Not saying what kind of timing. We might get something, you might not. These winter events down here are pretty unpredictable, so just keep it tuned. I'll have another update tomorrow so we can see what is going on. What I just showed you was the GFS's interpretation. I just wanted to show the Euro. The Euro is actually agreeing with the GFS on the timing of the front, so timing won't be an issue. It'll just be how cold will the air be when it does get here, and is there any moisture around in our area. And as we took a last look at our composite reflectivity, or what we expect to the radar to look like, it won't look exactly like this, but just to give you an idea, a general idea of what to expect for many areas, as the front makes its way into our area, we'll see thunderstorms pop up out in West Texas into the hill country and continue up towards the DFW area, riding along that front. And as that cold air continues to move into the area, we'll see that rain translate into snow up in the panhandle, and mostly sleet, freezing rain mix in the DFW area, so just be careful on the roads and overpasses when that does occur. As we go on through time, we move into the southeast Texas as that cold front produces some shower activity and thunderstorm activity. Now I want you to take a look. Not a lot of pink around here in our area, but if the air is cold enough and this freeze line does dive far south enough, when that cold air does arrive, we might see some frozen precipitation. Nothing major, something light, but just to be careful on those overpasses that do tend to freeze pretty often. And so what to expect? So the DFW area staying cool today. Cold front arrives in the morning hours to to the afternoon hours tomorrow. Looking at precipitation to start as rain and transition into probably freezing rain or sleet mix. Accumulations will be less than 0.10 inches, and the winter weather advisor is probable for this area. Houston Metro, what can you expect? So today, warm with periods of rain. That will be the case tomorrow, but as that cold front arrives between 6 and 10 p.m., we'll see those temperatures take a dive throughout the night and not warming whatsoever on Thursday. It will be a cold Thursday, cloudy, just miserable in the wintry mix during the overnight hours for our northern counties. So just make sure if you're in College Station, Huntsville, Livingston, those areas, you might want to keep it tuned to see what occurs in the moments of the storm. I will be updating tomorrow to see what changes with the model, so just keep it tuned. Have a nice night.